train that takes us to the bus station and got notified that our bus was going to be delayed by at least 4 hours. So we jumped on another train to come back to the main train station, the main Termini here in Rome, to do a train to Naples and then a bus from Naples to Sorrento. And our train is at least 35 minutes delayed. We still don't have a platform, and we have no idea if we're going to make the bus to get to Sorrento from the Naples train station. So to say it's been an interesting travel day would be kind of an understatement.
The current look on my face.
Yep, still no platform. All right, and after a crazy day of travel, we finally made it to our accommodations in Sorrento. We're staying at this super cute little B&B, you know, right inside of town, very close to all the popular restaurants and things like that. And just a quick tour of our home for the next several nights. This is it. We have a nice cozy bed. Oh God, that's like memory foam. So, if you haven't been following along, we haven't slept very well in the last week. We had a comfortable accommodation, but unfortunately there was a nightclub across the street and they played music all nights except for one while we were there. So I'm absolutely exhausted. So I see a lot of good sleep happening in that bed. We have a TV. Apparently we get some streaming channels on that. We also have a mini fridge, and our host told us that we had free everything in there, so sodas, waters, some alcoholic beverages as well, if we're into that sort of thing. Nice little workstation in case Darren needs to work on a video or something along those lines. He may take a day off because he's been working real hard. And then of course our bathroom, which has some fun little features. First of all, we have a radio in our bathroom. So we gotta figure out how to turn that off. We also have some funky lighting in the shower, which I also had to figure out how to turn off, but that's kind of cute. And then, like we said earlier, no European bathroom would be complete without a toilet and bidet. We have both of those, check. And of course, a nice big sink, some little toiletries, and a nice walk-in shower, and a drying rack for our clothes. So, you know, I think it's going to be a great accommodation. And this place, unlike some of the others we've stayed in recently, does do breakfast. So we at least know what we're going to have for breakfast each morning, and that's awesome, instead of having to search for it.
Good.
Buongiorno from beautiful Sorrento.
Yeah, good morning. We had a, after a long and eventful travel day out of Rome yesterday, as you saw, we finally made it. We're rested, we're rejuvenated, and we're excited to take on the day.
Yeah, we are. We didn't film a ton yesterday because honestly we were exhausted. It was a really long day, and unfortunately our accommodations in Rome were right across from a nightclub that had music going every single night, and honestly in like 5 days I got one good night of sleep. It was a great accommodation other than that, but we were just really tired yesterday, and it was a very, very long travel day. So we're excited about today, though. We have some really fun things planned.
Quick update. We are heading to the port to grab a boat over to Capri. We are. Serious.
I guess he was waiting for me to say something. Yeah, we're going to, we chose Sorrento as kind of like a home base to explore the Amalfi Coast and do some stuff here in southern Italy. So today is all about Positano, Capri, and the Amalfi Coast, and spending some time out on the water.
What she said.
Can't wait for you to cut this up into something that's not weird.
I'm not cutting it up, I'm leaving it just like this.
Don't you do it.
Okay, quick update. So what we've seen of Sorrento this morning, it's an adorable little town. I could see myself living here.
I could too. I've always loved the Amalfi Coast. I love southern Italy, and I could totally see myself living here too. So,
yeah, so we have our tickets to...
That might be a future plan.
Yeah, so now we have our tickets from Sorrento to Capri and our tickets again from Capri to Positano. Just like that, 20 minutes later, we are in Capri. Capri. I lost Nina. So this is the chairlift to the top of Capri. It was 14 euros per person round trip, and that's what we chose to do. As you can see, it's a beautiful view from up here, and off in the distance, I'm seeing that's the Isle of Vesuvius out here. Nina's in the chair in front of me.
Drivers in the world, bar none.
Or scariest.
A little bit of both. Combination. Alright, so we're about to leave the beautiful little island of Capri. We definitely didn't spend enough time here. We were really rushed and didn't really get to enjoy everything. So my tip to you is when you do a day trip to Capri, do not try to do other things like go to Positano or up the Amalfi Coast. Just enjoy Capri and do the other things a different day. So that's a lesson learned, and we won't make that same mistake next time. Right, Aaron? Off to Positano, where we have a much more relaxing afternoon plan.
Hey guys, okay, so we took the water taxi over from Capri here to Positano, and we were starving, so we grabbed a quick bite to eat at a local cafe down here. It was pretty good. Like I said, it's been, you know, the European summer, so it's very crowded.
Very, very crowded. So then after lunch, we took a little stroll along the waterfront. Unfortunately, we got here, didn't have a lot of time between when we got here with our boat and when our next boat comes to take us back to Sorrento. So we couldn't really spend any time on the beach today, which was supposed to be the plan. We were gonna come spend some time on the beach, grab a bite to eat, walk around a little bit, and then go back to Sorrento. But unfortunately, boats don't depart late from Capri, Sorrento, things like that, or Positano. So we had to kind of just, abbreviate what we were going to do today.
Lots of shops, lots of stores, little cafes, a lot of art galleries going on right now, or always. Tons of shops, so if you're a shopper, absolutely a place to come see.
Yeah, this is like a beach lovers / shoppers / bar lovers paradise. If you're into those types of things, then Positano is definitely a must-do on your bucket list at some point. If not, I think a day trip is absolutely sufficient. You can get kind of the best of what Positano has to offer: the beach, the views, the beautiful waterfront, and maybe hit up a nice restaurant or a nice bar and just kind of stroll around and see the cute little shops that are around. And I think that if you were to do that as like a day trip, you would definitely get some of what the best of what Positano has to offer. So
yeah, and now the sun has peaked behind the mountain, and our shuttle's going to be here in about 45 minutes. So we're going to stroll around a little more and grab the shuttle back to Sorrento.
Yeah. So we'll see you back at our home base. And we're staying in the Pompeii room. I have to admit, I kind of love it. Good morning from Pompeii.
Good morning.
So today we are taking a self-guided tour of the ruins of Pompeii, of course, which was destroyed by Mount Vesuvius. And I've seen this before. I found it absolutely fascinating, and we're going to take you along for the ride, and Darren's going to get to see it for the first time too.
Yep. So we grabbed the commuter train out of Sorrento, and it's about a 45 minute train ride over here to Pompeii.
Easy.
Very
cheap.
easy. Very cheap.
And you see, I go with the wind, the blazes southern, I keep them within, holding on to a feeling so strong.
We are heading to sort of a outlier location to start our audio guide, and then we'll work our way back through the ruins. So far, it's amazing. It really is amazing, and see how close it is to Vesuvius. You know why it actually got devastated.
Yeah,
So.
why they had no time to even try to evacuate, And unfortunately, because Vesuvius is an active volcano, they expect it's going to erupt again. And Naples is very close, and they think that they would have about 2 or 2.5 minutes to evacuate if it does if it does erupt. So a little scary that history could potentially repeat itself if people aren't really careful.
Absolutely. So as we show you some areas of Pompeii, this is almost like their version of a fast food. They'd come for lunch, and whoever owned this shop would prepare food, and you could eat it right here. And there's several down this big long road, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. The one that we just looked at a second ago, the shop owner actually lived right behind the restaurant. So just goes right behind the restaurant into his house, and it's just a really neat setup. You can kind of almost see the parallels between the way that they lived back around the time of Christ and the way that we're living today in certain cities.
In that former shop that I was showing some video of, they actually said they found money in one of the, I guess a little vault, I guess. They said maybe a full day's take when the devastation happened. So
yeah, it's cool. So in these holes right here, they would put the food, and then one of the holes was used for people to make the payment for the food. So in one of these bins here, they'd found money from, like Darren said, the day that Vesuvius erupted and destroyed everything. So really, really interesting.
just as a side note, the eruption happened 79 AD.
And all of this was buried. They've had to excavate this over the years, a lot of which happened right around the beginning of the 1900s and into the 1920s. And it appears as if they are still doing some excavations here today.
And it's significant. I don't know what the acreage is. I'll look it up and put it up on the screen, but it's extremely large area that they've unearthed over the almost over 100 years.
Yeah, so you want to come here kind of with a plan, because you could really spend all day here. It's huge. There's a lot of things to see, but we're kind of going to hit the highlights today, the things that they recommended to us when we bought our tickets, kind of like the main areas with some of the best preserved ruins. So we're going to show you those, but there is more that you can see here. You just really need a ton of time to do it.
So these large stones you see in the middle of the roads, is that I'm walking across them now, were to provide citizens access across the road when if it was too muddy or wet or flooding. One thing that's also interesting is in the middle of these roads, or in the roads, you can see the path of the carts that wore a path in the stone over the hundreds of years. It's very prevalent in many areas. I don't know if you can hear the thunder in the background, but the rain's coming. Might get to test out this roadway to see how well it moves the water around the town.
All right, so we are in a theater that was actually still under construction. The stage and the backdrop hadn't fully been finished yet before the eruption of Vesuvius, but our audio guide told us all about the different levels and who would have sat where, and it's just absolutely amazing how well preserved this theater is, considering all it's been through: earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. It survived, a world war. And it's still almost fully intact with what it would have been back then. It's really, really cool.
And as far as the World War, this area was bombed, and parts of Pompeii, were destroyed by bombing. The majority of it, that's been preserved by the ash has been recovered, and like we've shown you, some of the stuff has been rebuilt to sort of show you how life was back then.
Highly, highly recommend coming to Pompeii. If you're in this part of Italy, absolutely make a trip to Pompeii. You won't be disappointed, and we're not done yet. I honestly, as we've been walking through here and coming into like the large amphitheater and then now this smaller theater, and even just like walking up and down the main street and up the little side streets and everything, I can absolutely envision how beautiful this town must have been before it was destroyed. I think it was probably absolutely stunning with these beautiful mountains surrounding you, gorgeous, gorgeous foliage. I can just imagine how spectacular it was and how beautiful, and the fact that it's still this gorgeous even after all it's been through is truly amazing.
Yeah, and we're close to the water too. The ocean is right here, so it was an important place at the time, and we'll have to look up when it was first constructed. It's obviously hundreds of years before the birth of Christ, so
Yeah, considering it only survived 79 years after death. Yeah, I just wonder how long people actually inhabited it. All right, so we just finished our time here at Pompeii. We spent several hours checking everything out, and it is just as I remember. It is absolutely magnificent, so interesting. We chose to do audio guides for our experience here, but you can do guided tours, you can go around yourself. I recommend if you come here a first time, definitely don't do it yourself. Do either the tour, or I think the audio guides were perfect. Now, I already knew that I thought this place was spectacular. Darren, what did you think?
Yeah, I think it's amazing to be walking around again, a civilization that was buried in minutes, but it predates the birth of Christ up to I think they dated back as far as the 8th century BC, and a lot of stuff the 6th century BC. And to see it all here being uncovered, dug up, and exposed to show you what a real Roman civilization was like back then, it's amazing. It's really fun to walk around and think about the time and to see the things that are still amazingly preserved. It's fascinating.
And of course, this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I'm so glad that this made the list. It made it because it is the most well-preserved ancient Roman town in existence in the world. So really, really special place, and I'm really glad that they're protecting it from future damage because it's already been through so much. We don't want to see anything else get destroyed here.
And you can see in the background where what looms is Mount Vesuvius in the backdrop. It's amazing.
Always a threat. Beautiful, beautiful piece of landscape, but boy, is it scary what it's capable of.
Yeah, next time around when we come here, we're going to make sure we do a day on Vesuvius as opposed to, we couldn't do it both a day, just not enough time, and it's a lot to do both in one day. So we're going to come back and do Vesuvius another time. Yeah, totally worthwhile. So definitely, if you come to Italy, put this on your list of places to go. Okay, we are out for our final night in Sorrento and in the country of Italy.
That's right. It's bittersweet, but it's coming to an end. My time in the motherland.
And we'll let you know where we're going tomorrow when we get to the airport. Got an early morning, got a 6 a.m. pickup, and so we're trying to make an early dinner tonight so we can get to bed early, and we're being slowed down by a big rainstorm.
Yeah, it
just passed. Yeah, it just passed, and thankfully we're gonna get out and have a nice dinner somewhere.
That's right, and some of the best gelato in Sorrento, and I am really excited about that.
So we'll take some video outside the restaurant we choose, and then the gelato place we'll share which place we chose as well. So we're at dinner, and over my shoulder I noticed this thing and this thing. If you're Italian, you know what it means. I'm safe.
It's where I belong. Following what is burning.
So far in Croatia and Italy, we've had the quest of finding the best gelato places and where we're staying. And tonight in Sorrento, I think we found a winner. Yep. I would completely agree.
Always read reviews. Usually they are spot on. And this is no exception. This place got like a 4.8 on the reviews, and it's absolutely delicious. So, Fresco Sorrento. Usually find the most delightful hidden gems on those narrow alleyways, so this is definitely no exception.
And Nina only gets chocolate. I typically get chocolate, but tonight I went with the chocolate and vanilla combo. I wonder if they'll have gelato in our next location. Where are we going? I'm not telling. Not yet.